Hello, everybody. Welcome to Diamonds and Dice. Me and a bunch of friends get together and roll some d20s. It's great. Um, let's see. We're missing a Jonathan and we're missing a Josh. We love them. It's sad we're missing them, but game goes on. Let's see. So it's time for recap. Welcome to the world of Roth. The God Slayers are defending their home against a group of enforcers. What decisions brought them here? An Underdark fight for Zalaria's body ended with enforcers tossing her body into the lava, and the Godslayers exacted revenge. Returning home, they rested before awaking to a pistol shot. Big Saul was wrestling a constable who had shot Big Sally. So, you guys have done a lot of fighting back, and at the end of at the top of the initiative, I'm pretty sure he ran over and pointed the gun back at her. We lost our initiative from the last game, so we're gonna have
I
to
don't think we
re-roll.
were actually in initiative. It was a loose initiative, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It'd be a good time to roll initiative then.
Oh, that sucks.
Running away.
I updated the house and forgot to send you screenshots.
Did you download Haley and
No, I did not.
I appreciate the work.
I'm actually really excited about the update because in this room that's to the right is a library. I'm really proud of the build, okay?
Okay, everyone should be on their turn. If you guys want to go ahead and change turns.
Oh, I forgot to post my initiative.
You can change it in the tracker too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Please.
Okay. 9, 7, and 6. Right, guys, all the way at the 6. All right. Well, that sucked. So, as you guys had killed all the constables and this remaining enforcer basically jumped over the table and pointed a gun at Big Sally. So, kicking back into the initiative, starting off with Egida.
I don't know how. I got a 24. He got a 20.
Yeah, dog.
Okay.
Okay, we're starting off with Turth. DMs never make mistakes.
That was more of a roll 20 mistake, not you.
Gotcha.
We'll go with
What you doing, man?
So, I want to run, and I want to spear this guy off the table.
All right, go ahead and get some spear action going on.
Am I rolling unarmed? Are we doing grapple?
You could do a shove action and represent it that way.
So, is that just like an athletics check? Is that a strength check?
It's opposed athletics to his athletics or acrobatics. Initiative for being a little creative.
I got a 22.
22. Well, you beat his 9, so that's fun. Where do you want to shove him?
I am going to run straight across. A second. Sorry. You see how I moved?
Yeah,
As I dive through, I want to spear him that way. Yes.
like that.
Yep. That way, I'm shielding. I'm putting myself in between Big Sally and him.
right, so Tirth runs up and jumps just like that wrestler does and slams him with his head and knocks him back.
And is that my only attack action, I guess?
It counts as an attack. If you have a second attack, which I believe you do, you still
Yep.
can do so.
Okay. And I'm going to pull my great sword. And I am going to try to chop off his hand that is holding the gun.
All right, go ahead and make me an attack roll.
$28 to hit.
28 hits him.
Seven, 17 points of damage.
That's including your rage bonus.
No, so +2, so that would be 17,
19.
19.
You go to cut down, and he lifts his arm to kind of block the sword as opposed to getting cut in half, and you bury it deep into it. You didn't get a nat 20 though, so, but you've wrecked his arm pretty good. Screaming in pain, blood sprouting, as if the sword's biting dead into it. What else you got for me, Tirth?
Okay. That is actually it.
Okay. Now it's Eggeda's turn.
All right, so I'm going to move up right next to Tirth there. And if you remember last game, on my last turn, I had cast Thunderous Smite and had not used it yet.
Yep. So you
So-
still got it.
Yep. So I, with my sword thrumming with power, I will say, you attack our innocent friends, and you shall see that my focus is sharper than ever. As I swing my sword at him.
Get some inspiration for a brilliant speech, my man.
Does a modified 20 hit?
Yes, it does.
All right, so that is going to be 9 points of slashing and 2 points of thunder, and he has to make a strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw.
DC 15.
Hey. What was my DC? I'm sorry.
15.
Okay. It's
1,
strength
5.
saving throw? So
Yes.
4, 5. I got a 16 total.
All right, so you succeed. So you do not get pushed back 10 feet and fall prone.
That's a cool fucking power.
Yeah. And I will swing at him again.
Sweet.
Another
Does it-
modified 20 to hit.
Nice. Does it still have the Thundering Smite? You hit.
It does not. I expended the
Aw.
Thundering Smite. It was only on the next hit. However, I am going to be using my Divine Smite.
Okay.
And I will expend it at a 3rd level. So that will be... total of 21 points of damage, 9 of which is slashing. The rest is radiant.
Boom. You send him sprawling with that one. He's
And
still alive.
with my bonus action, I will use my Shield Master Shove
And shove him. It's another
Yep,
strength
to-
save.
to knock him prone.
It's another strength save, right?
It's a shove, so it would be athletics or acrobatics on your end.
Okay.
and I got a 19.
You beat him. Another
So
5 feet, 10 feet.
knock him prone.
Just knock him prone.
Yeah.
Eh. Get the little prone marker here. Where the fuck does it go? There we go. On my back.
And I didn't push him back, so there you go. And that will be my
Yeah.
turn.
You want to give it a little description?
It's a slash with the thunderous smite. So you'll hear a loud cracking boom, and then with the second attack, it's my divine smite. So it'll be a large flash of light, and then while the light has him slightly disoriented, I smack him in the face with my shield.
Nice. And, that's your turn, Egida?
Yep.
Okay, Big Cell. Yep, he can do it. So he's going to go ahead and jump over the table and make a running jump at him. The entire time yelling, "You son of a bitch!" Let's see. Big Sal. What? Hey. Let's see. And attacks are made with advantage, but grappling attempts are not. So he goes ahead and goes into a little bit of a grapple with the guy again, holding him down for you guys. Good job, Big Sal. She'll move around. You see she picks up, she starts walking up and she pulls out a much smaller wrench than you guys are used to. You know, she used to have a wrench back when she worked in the, the warehouse. She's since obviously doesn't carry around that big ass wrench, but she still happens to have a big wrench on her. She'll go ahead and make an attack against him. Whiff completely. I got a pretty decent roll for her. Armor class.
Doesn't she have advantage?
Yes, she does. She misses unless disadvantage gets it. Is that a fucking 19?
Yes, it is.
Okay. She's gonna walk around Egida and she says, "It's appreciated," but and she pulls it up and the guy's like struggling with Big Sal, and she just bops him on the back of the head with the wrench, and the guy falls unconscious. And she spits on him and she says, But I can. This bastard deserved it." And she turns and she faces you. We're dropping out of combat.
Yay!
Sorry about those who didn't get a turn.
That's okay. It let me get some important things done. So
I look
Sure.
around. I'm like, everybody okay?
huh?
Everybody okay? Turth is looking around like,
Oh,
everybody okay?
Chloe was just gonna
Kind of
like
dropping out of rage, you know, like, oh shit, whoa. That was a lot of alcohol really fast moment.
Kalima will like walk over to the guys and she'll actually go to Big Sally and be like, "Are you sure you're okay?"
She looks down at the gunshot wound that looks like it's magically healed over. You know that the bullet's still in there, but it's not going to cause her any trouble unless it's a lead bullet. She looks at you and she says, "I guess somebody took care of that already," and she'll tap the bullet wound.
Kalima's gonna kind of look at everybody and be like, "This Alazio guy really has it out for you guys. Did you happen to do anything else to piss him off?"
Well, let's find out about this. I'm gonna pull a copper wire out of my bag and
Okay.
whisper into it. I'm gonna use sending on Alazio.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, what is the meaning of this? We have done nothing but help you. I don't understand. We don't want to fight. Why?
Hmm. Okay, can't answer in a like manner immediately in 25 words. He's going to say, probably the best way. You would hear nothing for a little bit, and just before the spell ends, you would hear, "This is my town. Leave. This is your only warning, as we were friends once." And that's all he'll say.
Ugh. What a bitch.
The girls.
I'll relay what he said because he
You'll
said
relay it.
it to me. I'll say that. Well, he responded. He wants us to leave, and that we're no longer friends. Apparently, he gave me no explanation why.
Zach, you're so lucky Bonk isn't in this campaign because he would be sobbing and bawling so hard right now.
I know. Yeah, heartbreak. The girls are gonna run on up and Bartholomew, and they'll start charging you and Egida, and they, run up and start patting you guys on the back, and they're tending to Big Sally, and the girls all look at the body on the ground. The guy's still breathing. One of the little gnomes starts walking up, and you see she pulls a dinner knife and starts going towards him.
Turtle, like, just put his hand in, like, on her hand, like, that has a knife in it. You're like, you don't need to do that. We got
She-
it.
Yeah, she just looks, and she'll do a little gnomish spit down at his feet.
I want to go to the Thorn and Thistle.
Okay.
I want to buy
Big
one of those
spell.
special message roses.
Sure.
Aw, Celeria had one of those.
As you guys are all standing around and Egida's getting ready to leave, Big Cell says, I think I owe you guys an apology. This may, to some degree, be my fault.
How?
It's best if I show you.
Turtle just look at him, raising one eyebrow, like, what have you done?
He says, I can't speak of it here. It's not safe at all. But you have to follow me. What are we gonna do with them?
Insight check.
You what?
Insight check.
Okay. He says, "What are we gonna do with this guy?" And the guy's still knocked out on the ground.
I mean, I don't know if you guys have a plan of disposing bodies, but you could throw him in the sewer and the ghouls would eat him.
I mean, he's not dead yet. We could lock him up in the dungeon for now. He can be leverage.
I look at Turth and I'll give him a little nod. And tell me if I should stop, Terry, but I believe Egida and Turth will go and pick him up, and working together they will chuck him directly into the street so that he face plants into the asphalt.
Yes.
He'll go on out and you guys hear it.
I wanna before they do that, I wanna like take a little piece of paper and write, "We kept him alive."
Barely.
I mean, we kept him alive to show good faith, and fold it up and put it in his pocket.
If he survives the fall.
What are you guys doing with the rest of the corpses, though?
We
You
should
have a
really-
lot of constables.
There's like 6 constables.
Let's double check. Let's move back to the
No,
map.
there's 3 and 3.
They're at the very bottom.
You took away our frog Hemoth, didn't you?
Yeah,
Is gone. I didn't take it away.
the Legion killed it.
Yeah, the Legion killed it a while
AKA
ago.
the DM took it away.
He didn't like that we were talking about turning it into a familiar.
He's too big to be a familiar. I actually was making it to where he can be a familiar, but Jonathan hasn't been able to play. So, anyway, yeah. So, Big Sally looks at the bodies and she looks at you guys. All the girls are standing at attention.
You could
So
just
is it-
throw them
Right.
in the sewers. Someone would find them and eat them.
We could give them to the ghouls. They would probably really like.
That's what I just said.
I was essentially agreeing.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we could load them up in a cart and send them back.
Well, yeah,
to
but
Lodge.
you just put the other guy in the streets with a note that said we let him live. I don't think sending dead bodies would send the same message.
We let
Well,
him live. These
We
guys.
let him live, but if you keep coming at us, this is how it's going to end.
I don't know if Lazio's taking threats at the moment.
It's not a threat. It's
Did you just say it's not a threat, it's a promise? Well,
Agata, what do you think we should do with the bodies?
I agree. Disposing them in the sewers is probably the best course of action.
Okay, so I'm outvoted.
How far away are the sewers?
There's a
We'll
couple.
throw
Of
them in
man-
the cart.
Huh?
there's a couple of manhole covers like at intersections of the street and things like that.
Yeah, it'd be completely obvious. Not that riding down the street with a fucking cart full of dead bodies is obvious as well.
is there a less obvious entrance to the sewers around the mansion?
Maybe your guys' friend Valerie might know of a way to dispose of these bodies. Doesn't she know anybody who would be able to take care of something like this? Wasn't she in like some assassin's guild or something?
Whoa, whoa, whoa! She was way more careful. She didn't walk around yelling or.
I
Wait,
would,
you-
she told me she was a part of an assassin's guild.
Making sure.
She threatened to kill me if I didn't take care of them.
Out of character, by the way, Haley was the last one of us she talked to, so how do you expect any one of us to get in contact with her?
I have ways I can get in contact with people. You saw me get a hold of Lazio.
Would Kalima know of a good place to get to the sewers discreetly to jump the bodies?
Oops.
It'd be super if there was like a way basement.
Our basement isn't connected to the sewers.
I know.
I mean, we could actually take them back to the temple, and she could just toss them into the Underdark. That's always an option.
But that's a long ways away.
It is a long ways away.
And also, clearly Alazio's men have access to the Underdark, so who's to say they wouldn't find him?
Yeah, but who's to say they would find them before the ghouls?
We could just throw them into that pit.
Yeah, that's a possibility, but we'd still have to navigate through everything.
Kalima, make me a history check.
Ooh. It's an 18.
An 18, you know that this place in particular, you're getting into kind of the richer neighborhoods. Um, Most of the time, it's like gutters, very crudely made gutters. Uh, and manhole cover's the only way to get into the sewers from here, and it's a little bit more dispersed than normal. They don't like to be reminded of sewers.
I could also like send a message to Grex, and like be like, we're gonna put him in the stables. You guys can get him tonight.
Oh.
Make them free food.
Also a possibility.
Ideas? Thoughts?
I mean, Kalima would kind of explain, like, what Zach said. Like, there's not a lot of areas to get to the sewers aside from manhole covers. We'd have to go to a less fancy part of town.
Big Sal would say, being an ex-constable, they're gonna know that these guys went missing. I mean, they sent them here when they don't check in. It's gonna be pretty obvious.
I think it's time we spoke to Alazio in person.
How do you imagine we're gonna do that? Like the last time we tried,
We
they
filled
turned
out-
us away.
We filled out all the paperwork we needed to.
I mean, but also didn't Big Sal say he had
I
something to
could
show
get that-
us?
I could get us there as well. I mean, dimension door right there, right there in the middle of your room. You have to see me now, but I can only take one of us.
I feel like that's a bad idea. But doesn't Big Sal have something to show us?
You look over at him and he's like, I think I may have brought the heat, yeah.
Well, show us what happened, and then we can figure out what to do with these guys. We can ask the gnomes to like take them to an empty bedroom for the time being until we can like dispose of them appropriately. I mean, we can't just leave them in the middle of the foyer.
Why not?
Why not? What if more come in?
Meat shields. No.
What you guys doing with the bodies?
Honestly, the stables would probably be a better idea.
I mean,
Or just throw him out the front door with the other guy.
fuck it. Fuck it, Godslayers, this is what you get, I guess.
Is that your final answer?
I vote for the stables.
Yeah. I vote for the stables.
All for it. That's what I said.
The girls will pile on to pick up the body. There are about four to six gnomes per body as they go to pick it up, and
Kalima's gonna help.
the horses seem pretty spooked by it. They don't seem to like the smell of death, but they're easily settled.
And Kalima is scared of the horses.
You're scared of the horses?
She's never seen a horse before. And they're very large.
One of them tries to bite you.
And she'll scream and, like, step back real quick.
Gnomes are just sitting there staring at you, surprised.
Kalima just keeps her distance. She doesn't try to approach the horses or anything.
I'll walk up and I'll put my hand on Kalima's shoulder and say, "It's all right," and I'll pull out an apple and I'll say, "Watch this," and I'll feed it to the horse, and then I'll give Kalima an apple. I'll say, "You try."
And she's gonna look at the apple and just be like, "No," and give it back to you. They're so
Very well.
The one behind
big.
her is eating her hair.
And she's just like, and she's just gonna quickly leave the stables. She can't.
The horse nuzzles you for another apple.
I'll just pet it and walk away.
So you guys are going to follow Big Sal to his thing?
Yes.
Yes.
You wanted to stop by the Thorn and Thistle, correct, Landon?
Yes. Yes.
Not too far. You guys are in Rosetown Abbey. So Jirig and Vidania, I believe, is their names.
That sounds right.
Wow, how do I remember that? So you go and to the street that's been renamed. It was Short Street. It's renamed Rose Alley. Because the rose bushes are just so thick in that alley, and across from it, there's one of those little pushcart stalls. Like it's a stall, but it has handles so that you can pick it up and take it away. And it's Jirig and Vidania, and they just have all kinds of beautiful flowers. It looks like there's been a tarp placed over the alley, because of the colder weather. Is it still like essentially your January? So you go up to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be like, "It is good to see you again, my friends."
It is. It is good to see you as well. How's your journey been thus far?
It has been turbulent.
Turbulent.
Kurt will like look up like. Well, I'm with Big Sal.
She looks at you surprised. Well,
I don't want to bore you with the details. I'm here to buy one of your message roses.
at that, Jirig will like walk on over and he says, he says, as always, a fine customer. And he gets a big smile on his face and he says, what would you like to say?
Is there a chance I could do it myself? I don't exactly want you to be involved if you don't have to be.
He gives you a little wink and he says, we do that all the time. It won't be a problem at all. And he nods to her and she nods to him and he sits there and you see that there's a small spell that he's casting. It's a unique spell. It looks like it's a blending of a spell. It takes a very long time to create or meld spells. Lots of research. And he'll say it and hold his finger to it, and he says, I will hand it to you, and within 15 seconds. He looks around for the monster that just approached. He says, within 15 seconds, it should be recording, and they'll tap it. Let's see. The going price is currently 15 gold. Market's been pretty slow.
All right. I will give him 15 gold. That's not an issue.
Okay.
I will walk away so that I'm out of earshot to them. I don't want them knowing about it. Ask no questions, tell no lies, right?
Right.
And my message is to Alazio. Hold on, fixing my gold here. It will say, Governor Alazio, my name is Egida. I am fairly new to the Godslayers. I know we don't know each other very well, but I must tell you I grow tired of this unwarranted violence. Should you wish us to leave, I humbly request that you do so in person.
And that's where you end it?
At the last part, I'll say, you know where to find us, but I hope we can meet in the middle.
Okay.
And then I'll call for a random runner.
Okay, so you're not using anyone in particular?
No.
Okay. Random runner. Okay. Okay. A random runner, you get it's a elven lady with very, very long blonde hair. Looks pretty generic for the most part. She's not dressed like a legionnaire at all. Like, she's not wearing a toga or anything like that. She's dressed more like a native of Dathersport. And very plain clothes. She looks at you with very stark blue eyes, and she says, "A runner? A runner?"
Please deliver this rose to Governor Elazio.
She looks and looks surprised. She opens up her palm for her cash.
I'll give her 5 gold.
She says, "Excuse me, my lord, but messengers that are sent to the governor, of course, if they well, sometimes we worry about carrying cargo that might get us beat. I mean, after all, they do shoot the messenger. This isn't anything illicit or poisonous or dangerous, is it?"
Nothing but a simple rose.
She looks at you and looks at you kind of funny. She'll walk away and you hear the sounds of magic. And she'll keep walking.
Sounds of magic.
Yeah, like she starts invoking. She starts not invoking because it's actually a particular school, but she starts to say verbal components to a spell.
Can I tell what she's casting?
Yeah, make me an Arcana check.
Nat 20.
Nice.
23 total.
It's detect magic.
Fair enough.
And she continues on to deliver her message.
She had to make sure that it would explode.
You what?
I said I'm sure she had to make sure it wasn't going to explode.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty dangerous thing for a runner. If you deliver, I mean, the first thing the guards are going to do is start kicking your ass. So anything that's sent to a governor, it's a smart play. I wouldn't say that every runner would do it.
Yeah.
And once she'll probably cast Identify, and once she finds out that there's no explosive rune, she's probably not going to pry.
It's just a message.
Yeah, and she's just being cautious, so she, I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Yeah.
But she's smart.
It is.
That's it.
It is what it is.
So yeah, she.
That's all I wanted to do.
Awesome.
What the fuck did he do?
What?
I said, Big Sal, what the fuck did he do?
He looks at you and he says, "Okay, if we're ready, I can take us there." But he looks real nervous and he's starting to sweat a little bit, and he goes, "I just want you to know that where we're going can be perilous."
Oh,
He said,
Zach, you froze.
"Turf.
You froze, Zach. We missed like half. We missed like every.
Are we all frozen, or am I just..."
It's just you, I think.
Okay, I'm back. So he says,
Hold on, you froze
You're
again.
not back.
Alright, I'm back.
You know when you did this whole little thing? That's how you froze.
I think he's still frozen, actually.
Oh, this one. So he says, where we're going, this individual can be dangerous. You don't spend as much time as head of the constables or head constable to not acquire some powerful people, if you get my drift. And he looks at Turth and he says, I just want to make sure that you know that he's not your friend and he's not your enemy either. Don't kill him.
Don't kill him.
Okay.
So you say okay?
Yep. I'll be like, okay.
Okay. As you guys start walking off, it's a good time to pop on a smoke break, but he's going to say as you guys are walking off, he says, it's a secrets keeper here in Dathersport. You know what that is?
No.
Someone who exchanges for secrets, someone who uses it as commerce and as a weapon.
Okay.
That's interesting.
He's in and he'll say, make sure we're not being watched and follow me. And like I said, that would be a good time for us to take a quick smoke break. As we change scenes. So he takes you by Red Fountain Square, which you guys all have very good passive perceptions. You guys notice that there are people running outside of the Grim and Talon, armfuls of stuff.
Of great people running outside of what?
Grim and Talon?
Okay. You cut out.
That's okay.
Okay.
Okay, out of character, I thought that shop didn't exist anymore.
No, they were rebuilding.
Okay.
But it's just tame now, so.
Yeah. I want to see what they might be running from.
You don't see anything chasing them.
They're just running away.
They're running with armfuls of stuff,
Oh, so they're looting.
seemingly.
Kalima's gonna look a little confused. And she's like, that's not normal, is it?
No, it's definitely not normal. Big Sal, what did you do?
He said, I didn't do anything. Not to do with this anyway.
Well, are we gonna take care of Grim and Talon, or are we gonna have him take us to wherever he did something wrong? Find out why the constable, or like why the enforcers are trying to kill us.
I mean, okay. Kalima, like, really doesn't know who or what they are. She's just like, well, that's not normal, but she's totally, like, just gonna go on with her day. Like, it's kind of whatever to her.
Turth will want to go check the shops. Go check the shop.
Turth walks towards the shop.
Okay, follow him.
Yeah, close.
Yeah, I'll follow Turth. I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat as Kalima. Like, I don't have any attachment to this shop, but I am concerned about what I see. But I'm also kind of, we have another task at hand, so it's something I would normally come back to. But if Turth's going to go into it, I'll go into it too.
When you guys go into the place, the whole front of the store has always been like magic items, and by that I mean like magician's toys. Remember when you guys first walked in, they said that it's one of the things that sells the best is low-level stuff like that, marked cards, you know, little fake wands that have ribbon that are hidden in the hollow of it, things like that. Stuff that you guys would find in a hobbyist magic shop, hands down. It looks like you bust in and there's a bunch of teenagers and kids just taking all of it. They're just rummaging or putting it in their shirts that are held open like a scoop, and they're just taking handfuls of it. You look and all the stuff is gone from the back completely.
As Turthwell opens the door, I'm gonna yell, "What are you doing?"
Make me an intimidation check.
No, it's okay.
Oh, Jet.
You do
Nat
have
20.
inspiration.
To the 27.
With a 27,
I rolled a
What?
nat 20, so
Jet's
all
like, I didn't do anything.
all the kids and one adult stop, drop all their stuff, and then just run out of the store.
do I
That's
see?
what it's all about.
I want to go in and see if Talon's there. What's going on?
If Tame is there,
Yeah.
taking a look into the back room that goes into more of a living establishment on the upstairs. The back
Yeah.
is storage and it's empty. You walk upstairs and you immediately see signs of a scuffle. There's bloody marks on the wall. There's bullet holes in the wall, and things like that.
I'm gonna go downstairs and say, I'm gonna kill this motherfucker.
Lima like stayed out in the main area, and the two people that Turth scared off, the stuff they dropped, she went over and is like looking through everything. She's just curious.
When I was up there, does it look like there was definitely like enough blood for there to be a body? Before I say go downstairs and say,
Actually, I would say there was enough blood to be several bodies. None of them appear to have been in the bed, more against the wall facing the bed.
okay,
There was some blood trails. You're looking at a mess. But you are a detective. You want to make me an investigation check?
Yep.
Do kind of like the Aragorn thing?
I'm standing at the door, at the entrance, just kind of watching the square.
this die is being shit for me tonight.
That sucks.
Yep. 15.
A 15, you can tell that there was a struggle with a sleeping individual.
Okay.
You can tell that the sleeping individual probably fought back quite a bit. There is large amounts of blood, but not enough to where you think a person may have died. In one instance, but several in the others that you think they may have died. You're looking at it, and it's still just too much of a mess for you.
Okay, I'm gonna go downstairs and say that there's a lot of blood. It looks like there multiple people dead, but at the same time, it looks like there couldn't have been. It looks like Tame was probably attacked in his sleep, fought something off. It's definitely. I'm not seeing him anywhere, and there are no bodies.
Was there just blood upstairs, or are there body parts?
No, there was no body parts. There was just blood and bullets.
Turth will sit there and like, kind of like rub his chin, and looks at Big Sally and is like, "Back to what you got to show us."
He nods. Leads you guys outside.
I want to see if there's something that I could do to the storefront before we.
You could lock it. Probably a good call.
I'm definitely gonna do that. I don't have anything that I can use to like booby trap it, so nobody else can.
We're gonna lock it up and head off with Big Sal. what he's got to show us.
I was gonna booby trap
Well, unfortunately, you guys don't have a key to the front door. So tell
Quick,
me
what's
how
the
you
opposite of Alohomora?
it. I have Mage Hand. Can I use Mage Hand to try and like?
Lock the other side.
Yeah, you can make me a dexterity check using Mage Hand. It's very similar to trying to pick a lock.
Okay.
Basically, trying to do reverse on the tumblers.
My dice hate me.
Time for
Oh,
new
okay.
dice.
Don't tell the dice goblin.
I've bought more dice.
She has plenty of dice. She seems-
Dexterity? Just the dexterity or athletics?
Dexterity.
Okay.
I like how you say she has plenty of dice, and I plan on making her more as soon as I get that part figured out.
Goddamn dice goblins.
Fuck yeah. It was only a 6. I failed.
A 6? Yep. No, you're fumbling with the lock, and you're like, this is too hard right now.
Tirth is gonna take his dagger, and I'm gonna shove it through the door and into the door frame.
Try to wedge it, essentially.
Wedge the door shut.
Make me a strength check.
If James is still alive, he's gonna come back and be like, what the fuck is up with this shit?
A strength check.
Yep.
That'd be a modified 20.
Problem. Okay. So you
I
guys
want
can...
to get it just deep enough to where it's like someone almost as strong as me has to pull it out.
Gotcha. And as tall.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Big Sal takes you, and he starts walking towards the constable station, essentially.
Okay.
And you see a couple guys out front, some constables, and he says, "Maybe you should wait here just a bit." Nope. Go up, and they start talking.
I'll wait, but I'll keep a very close eye on him.
Okay. So he starts talking to them, and it looks like they get kind of chummy, and then he laughs. They're sitting there. Make me an insight check, Landon.
Nat 1.
Oh!
You look over at him, and he looks, as far as you can tell, it looks suspicious as fuck. That's all you can tell. So he goes, and like their demeanor goes happy, kind of joking. They pat him on the stomach, and he seems to like do like shy, like, yeah, that's funny. And they're talking a little bit more, and then he takes a deep breath and then says something real quick, and they all just kind of like look at him. And one of them starts shaking his head no. And then a few seconds later, the one guy will kind of nod, and the other two look at him, and he looks very stern and honest. And then Big Sal like excitedly shakes his hand and starts walking back. He says, "Okay, the boys owed me some, so I got us the end."
Are you gonna put us in?
We're gonna go to the prison, but it's okay. I promise you, it's okay.
Why do we have to go to the prison?
The individual that I need to talk with is there.
But prisons never have good things.
I think you need to give us a little bit more information before we just go to a prison. You know, you heard what was going on. Big Sal is almost died this morning because of this. We need more information before we
Don't
just
you
walk.
think I know that? He says,
Well, we don't want to walk into a trap again.
"You think..." He stops. "You think I'm leading you to a trap?"
I kind of do, yes.
You may not know it, but it is a possibility. We're not blaming you for it. We're just saying other things may be in play here. Why don't you start by telling us who it is you want to talk to and of what importance are they?
I already told you, it's a secrets keeper.
What's their name?
He looks at you and he puts one finger up and goes, and he looks at you. He says, so, I've told you what we're doing. And he looks over and he's like, and fuck you, Haley, by the way, if you think I would treat you guys like that. After all you've done for me,
Just like I could have said, it's not like you were doing it intentionally, but we've been led to a lot of traps here lately, if you haven't noticed.
I mean, this Lazio guy does have it out for them, so.
We
He's
trust
like-
you, Sal. We don't trust the people you work with.
you trust me. He says, he says, the people I work with are you. He says, she doesn't trust me.
I don't trust anybody right now.
That's a good way to keep friends. He says, now are you coming with me or not?
Terth will look at him and be like, I'm coming with you.
He smiles.
I was always going to come with you. I only wish you'd be a little more forthcoming with us.
That's the thing about secrets keepers is they keep secrets. I don't make the rules.
This is so confusing. But Kalima's gonna go with anyways.
Terth will just like put his hand on his shoulder and be like, it's okay, look.
She'll just. She just looks confused.
I'll mumble under my breath, like, if he's a secrets keeper and he's in jail, he's probably not very good at it.
He says, well, if you were a secrets keeper, where's the best place to be hidden? The best place where people wouldn't even think to look. I thought it was pretty clever, to tell you the truth.
Kalima's not saying anything, but she's like thinking of like all of the places she could go hide and never be found.
He takes you. He walks with that one single constable that gave him the smile. You guys walk into the dungeon. It's real close. It's basically back, behind, and underneath of the constable station. He takes you down to it. It's pretty dark in there, and you see a couple constables like kick their shoes off the table the minute they see Big Sal, and then they, let's say, Saga, it's an old habit, and he puts his feet back up, and he says, "Not like we don't respect you or anything, but rules have changed, huh?" And Big Sal just says, "I need to see him," and the guy who says, "Well, that's all good and fun, but we work under new management now, Sally." "I hate when you call me that." "I know. So, if you're going to want something like that, I think I'm going to need a little bit of cash up front, huh?" And Sal, like, reaches into his pocket and pulls out a couple gold pieces, hands them to the guy, and the guy will say, "Buys your friends quick as cash." And he hands him a key. And he says, I need that back when you're done." And Big Sal walks over, and a couple people that pass by you guys, you can see that there's one guard at the gates, and then there's one wandering guard. You guys go down a couple corridors into a single locked room on the edge. He walks up, and it's like almost a tight squeeze to get in, and once you guys all get there, you see a single individual, very old tiefling. His horns are very, very massive and curled up around, but he has gray hair. It's kind of in spurts and splotches, very puffy kind of hair. He looks like he's dressed pretty immaculate for being in jail. He has a table with books on it, and there seems to be fine food up on that table. He says, "This is shh." And the individual will turn around and give you guys a bright smile with ice blue eyes, a contrast to his dark purple skin. He says, I need to know where they are. And the individual that has his fingers to his lips says, Well, Big Sal, you, I believe, aren't here to protect me any longer. But if you need to know where they are again, I could certainly let you know. It will be costly. And then Big Sal reaches into his pocket, pulls out some more cash, and tosses it in the room on a table. The individual says, I absolutely love it that you're always willing to pay the price for the secrets. Needing to know where they are this time? And he nods. And he goes, they're in a meatpacking plant. Really close to the reclaimed territory in the red zone. You'll know it by the mark on the front door. He says, I think you'll find it very symbolic of what your cause is at this current point in time. And he says, I keep many secrets, but I do not know what your new friend's name is. He looks over and he says, Haley, Bartholomew, I believe you would do me a kindness to introduce me to your two new friends. He gets a big crooked smile.
Why would
I look at Haley and I'm
Tell
like,
me your name, horse master. I shall tell you mine.
I look at Haley and I'm like,
And then
is his name? Shh.
I mean, they're calling Gab, right?
Did you hear me, Zach?
Yep.
I'm
he,
like,
he prefers to be called
fingers to lips. Got it.
This is so confusing. Who are they, and why are we looking for them? Kalima will ask that to Big Sal.
Big Sal says, again, it's just easier if I show you. It can't be explained.
Okay.
You just gotta trust me.
Okay.
So, to the tiefling, Turth will be like, the Dragonborn is Egida, and the Drow is Kalima.
Kalima. Such beautiful names. Yes, it's absolutely wonderful. It's been a long time since I've seen someone who is as skilled as they are. And he looks at Kalima and he says, you have many secrets, I'm willing to bet. And then he looks at Egida. I'm willing to bet you have absolutely no secret. Although a very handsome dragonborn such as yourself is quite nice to look at. Such strength. Such power. I bet you're brutal in combat as you are, or I bet your brutality only matches your faith.
I stay silent.
And then he laughs a bit. And you, Kalima, what secrets do you hold? If you let me know, I'll be sure to give you cash. That is what I do. I work with finance of unanswered questions and secrets.
I don't think any of my secrets would do you any good.
Oh? What about that individual behind you?
And she'll kind of look behind her.
You see a spirit. You're used to those things. Seems to be following you. It looks like it's a prisoner. Maybe it died of starvation here a while back.
She'll kind of go to look at it. She'll be like, huh. She'll look back at him and she'll be like, what about him?
I'm just saying that's a rare talent. I can smell it on you. Do the others know what you're capable of doing?
No, but they haven't asked.
And you, mighty Dragonborn, being so far away from those that follow your faith. A pilgrimage, is it?
I will not confirm nor deny to someone who will not tell me their name, at the very least.
Oh, my name, I will tell you. Absolutely. But every secret comes at a price, doesn't it? So how much is Egida, follower of Bahamut, willing to pay for such thing?
For something as simple as a name, I would hope you'd have the. I would hope that you would be humble enough for a polite introduction.
He says, in my line of work, my name being known is certainly. It certainly could bring about my destruction. Besides, names have power, especially true names. Tieflings especially are susceptible as we have the demon blood in it. So again, I am more than willing to pay for your secrets.
Secrets don't keep friends. What happens when you run out of them?
I will never run out of secrets. And when I do, I'll have the money to buy new ones. You've already been given very many secrets as free gifts knowing my location, as Big Sal has used me for quite many years in exchange for this wonderful living establishment. And the ability to leave at my whim, but to stay protected in the last place anybody would ever look for me. That came to you for free. But I digress. If you're not willing to play with me in exchange for monies, that's fine. I've told your friend what he wishes. He says, I will be abreast of their next location as well, and the location after that. Know that I am the key, as you have put it, as you have made it so, Big Sal. By the way, I'm terribly sorry about your partner. And then Big Sal just kind of looks down. Turth, Haley, anything in particular you wish to sell in the way of secrets? That message you sent to Lazio was very delicious, by the way.
How do you know that's it?
He smiles. It's my business to know.
I'd like to ask Big Sal if I can see the key.
He looks and hands you the key.
I want to try and memorize it.
Are you're sitting there just staring at it?
Yes.
Okay. It's a pretty simple key. They do make items that can copy them as well, but without that at this current point in time. You sit there and try to memorize it. Make me an intelligence check.
Straight intelligence, or is there a skill attached to it?
It'd be straight intelligence.
I will use my inspiration.
Burned.
That's going to be an 18.
Okay. You think you have a pretty good idea of what this puzzle piece looks like.
And I'll hand the key back to Sal.
So, this individual will look at Turth and say, it's been a long time since you've spoken with Borg, isn't it?
Turth will kind of like, you see the wrinkles in his forehead and like nostrils flaring a little bit. And he just looks at Haley and let's go.
You know, for a couple thousand gold, that's merely 2,000 gold. I could tell you quite a bit of secrets that could help you in your journeys. Are you sure, Turth?
Turth just continues walking. He'll like pause and like look over his shoulder, and then continue walking.
Ah!
Big Sal says thank you to him.
Kalima will follow Tirth out.
Back halfway across town, as you guys are going.
Actually, before we leave, I want
Yeah.
to take a copper piece, and I just want to kind of chuck it, like just with 2 fingers, try to nail him in the forehead and say, "For your troubles."
Okay. Go ahead and toss me an attack roll.
What is my modifier for a copper piece?
You don't get your proficiency modifier, so it would be off plus.
Athletics, you said?
No. It's an attack with your dexterity.
With my
You
dexterity.
don't get your proficiency.
So that's going to be an 11.
Okay. You flick it towards him, and it seems to, like, it goes and it bings right here and stops. You can tell that he has mage armor cast on him. And he smiles. Keep in touch, won't you, Godslayers?
Once they're like outside or whatever, Kalima's gonna be like, that guy was weird.
Yeah.
He's a bit to handle, that's for sure.
I don't really understand how you make a living off of having information, but I guess that's a possible thing.
Says information can be something that makes or breaks you, especially depending on your depending on what you're doing. He says every time I needed any kind of a bust, I would go down, pay him, and I would know where to go next. Hey, that's enough.
Sounds kind
He
of like.
says.
Said cat
Go.
sounds kind of like cheating.
He says, well, every officer has their informants. Just, I got the best one. I wouldn't consider that cheating, would you?
The business of keeping secrets sounds counterintuitive to me, because if you are known for the person keeping secrets, you eventually also become known as the person who tells secrets, making them not secret anymore. So
True.
how trustworthy is this person, if
Well,
anything
no.
can be bought?
Oh, if he could, he would sell every bit of information he could on us, on what we just did. Yeah,
I believe he would. He seems
would.
like the person who has an obvious price.
he is. Let's just hope nobody else knows about him that's our enemies at this point.
What is it that you have to show us?
He said it was in one of the meat packing plants to the south, just before the red zone in the reclaimed territory, right?
Yep.
Hold on. If he knows about your enemies, who's to say your enemies don't know about him?
I haven't really thought about that.
For someone who deals in the things that he does, are you, and particularly the other constables, are you all so arrogant that you believe that you're the only ones he talks to?
No, I just imagine that they didn't have the kind of money that we had. He's not a well-known thing. He seems to take pleasure in only working for people who can pay him exorbitant amounts of money for the most part. Although he has been known to sell a secret that's smaller, but still.
If he knows as much as he claims, I think it's fair to assume that he knows a great many people.
You're probably correct.
I would
Unless you-
advise against speaking to him again.
He says, I wouldn't know where we were meeting otherwise.
Perhaps we should find a different avenue of contact.
Who are we meeting, anyways?
He won't tell us.
Yeah, he nods and he's like, we've been over this a couple times now. I know the curiosity is killing you, but let's go.
Waiting on you.
It's a far trek. You guys go down to the reclaimed territory, and you can see that a lot of the territory seems to have been claimed and then promptly taken by the Dathersport officials. Places that used to be factories, places that used to build ships for shipyards, everything that you can imagine, it looks like now it's all government owned, essentially. He takes you guys, like as he's taking you guys into that territory, you guys see a set of gallows, and Big Sal looks down real sad, and you guys can see a lone body swinging from the gallows. You guys look up, and I believe Tirth is the only one who's seen Big Sal's partner Malik swinging from a rope. Out of character, I told you guys that was happening 2 days ago. I know that you've had your plate pretty busy, but I couldn't let it slide more than 2 days. Big Sal.
Kalima's gonna pause for a minute, and she'll kind of look at him and be like, "Are they just gonna leave him up there?"
This appears to be Elazio's new thing. Something we should get taken care of as well.
Agreed.
That's so
Yeah.
wrong.
A lot of things are wrong.
So going down, you guys finally find there's one big band of silver paint on the front of a door. And he sneaks up to it, and you hear he knocks a couple times, and then the door just kind of creaks open.
Before he goes in, I look at Haley. Oh, never mind. The silver
I'm just
saber.
confused.
Oh.
As the door opens up and he goes into it, he lets the door close behind him. What do you all do?
I'm doing a perception check to see what's in this room that we're in.
Me too.
You enter the door?
Yeah, I'm gonna go in.
He's showing us something. I need to find out what the fuck it is.
Wait, hold on.
Not us anything.
Were we able to go in with him, or did he go in and the door closed?
He went in and he let the doors close behind him.
Can I open the door and go in?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to follow Big Sal in.
It's pitch black, but with your dark vision, you can see in gray. It's a whole bunch of individuals sitting around lamplights. Like, it looks like they're holding them down.
Okay.
Big Sal is walking right in the middle of the room. And it is a bunch of people that are all dressed in all silver. No, you evil cat. Dressed in all silver. With silver masks up on the top. And a set of rapier-looking blades. It's an entire room full of them.
Silver copycats.
They know we're in hockey bags.
They hand Big Sal a hat, a flourishy hat, and he'll put it on, and you look, and it looks like his belly shrinks down as you can see that there's a hat of disguise being used, and he looks very much like almost like a skinny version of himself with the mask and everything else. So he puts it on. It turns into the scalp mask. And he turns around. He's like, "Well, get on in so we can turn on the lights."
I get in as well.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
go in.
They'll kick on the lights, and he says, "We've been gathering a force. Pretty much anybody who can't stand Elazio's new rule that works as a constable. Many a commoner. I mean, hell, we have everybody from all walks of life that just can't stand him." He says, "Most of the people of Dathersport love you to death. And I've been gathering them together, and the only thing I can think of is that silver saber. He was a symbol that things weren't going right. I figured it would work again."
Sorry.
And all the rest of the people are sitting there and they hold their blades up to you. God Slayers,
Out of character. I'm so mad Celeria is dead right now. Oh my god. Ugh!
they all stand up there and, stand at attention to you. He's like, in other words, I've been spending most of my free time trying to take and build you a volunteer army. Obviously, I couldn't say that out on the street, and I don't know what is bugged. The only way to find the group is to, well, we keep it a secret. So usually the secrets keeper is the best person to find out where we're gathering. I think they somehow know something about it, though. But it's time I showed you, so here they are. And he stands up.
So this is why Big Sally got shot?
I mean, I can only imagine that it's my fault.
No, I think it's a little more than that.
He looks kind of like dumbfounded, like he's like, well, of course this is why. And then he's like, oh shit, this may have nothing to do with it. Hey, what's up at you? Well, surprise?
How tough are they?
Well, and then one guy walks up and he says, I might as well be the Silver Saber himself. And he stands and
I punch him right in the face.
he gets, and he like crowds away. I don't think we're gonna win like a lot of members that way, just saying. Then the next one goes,
Punch.
you what?
I said they got. I look at Big Sal and I'm like, they got to be able to take a punch.
He says, I haven't gotten very far in the training, and I can only train them as much as a regular constable can be trained. But they're willing bodies for you.
Totally out of character, but that is how Tirth picked all of Alazio's bodyguards. So they have to survive Alazio's bodyguards.
When you step up, Tirth is going to punch you in the face. Those people are like, no. We remember the podium.
In my notebook that I've been keeping, I drew like podium getting attacked by the tomato and then floating.
Yes.
It's funny how, like, eventually characters get to the point where they can do many hit point damage to something like that. And it's like, by the rules, you blew it up into pieces with a fucking tomato.
So
But I walk over to the guy I punched in the face and I grab him by the shoulder. I'm like, if you're gonna help us, you're gonna be getting a lot more of those, not from me.
I just expected you to maybe, I don't know, maybe stay on guard or something, huh?
That's not how fighting works. It just happened.
He says that, he nods.
I have the alert fee.
What's your AC?
20.
6, 7, 8, 9. He takes a sword and he goes, I think you have a point. And he swings his sword and comes real close to like snapping your belt off your pants. And he's like, maybe I'm not as good as I think, huh?
A little more training, you might get there.
Well, that's why we are here. We believe that Deathersport has been horribly, horribly shamed. Many of us come from many different places, and the people have always stood with you, God Slayers. Big Sal over here came, and he told us to start gathering, so we await your command and orders. All of them, and there are lots of people from different walks of life, as young as 12 years old, and as old as 65. All dressed as little silver sabers.
This Silver Saber character seems very inspiring. May I ask, who was the first?
Who what?
Who was the first?
Would Haley have known? With as long as she played with she was with the party with Marzio?
I do think Marzio publicly revealed himself to be the Silver Saber.
Yeah, he did.
Because remember in the fight with Clemens, he did the total anime move where he took off the mask and put on his hat.
I forgot about that.
So it's public knowledge, but you two wouldn't know. Agata and
Exactly.
Helima.
So I'm asking in character.
Our former partner in crime, so to speak, also
Crime.
well, I say so to speak, also co-governor of this very town, happened to have been the original Silver Saber.
Which is so happily up with the elves right now.
I'll turn to Big Sal and the rest of the Silver Sabers and be like, does this person know about what you're doing?
I don't. Everything that I've heard about Marzio has been that he's somewhere else. Doing diplomacy with the Legion.
He hasn't gotten back to me. I had sent to him via Sarah. I could try another way to get in touch with him to see if it could help. Or this seems dangerous. It seems like it could possibly lead to trouble for Marzia. You guys know. Especially with how Alazio is at the
Well, we just picked a symbol that we thought. I didn't.
You didn't realize that the co-governor happened to be the original Silver Saber, and that might cause some issues for him. Maybe there's a reason why I haven't been able to get in touch with
Or Elazio just doesn't want to get in.
Look, Haley, I know you don't like me, and
It's not that I don't like you. It's this is not very thought out.
he said
Not
He's
that I'm
the- the hope that Marzio brought us and the hope that you all bring us is the only thing this town ever seems to have right.
and that's what we want to do for you guys. We want to be able to make this town a better place and for you guys to be happy to live here.
Well,
And
I'm doing everything I can, and as far as being thought out's concerned, I'm sorry if it didn't match your wise, ingenious plan.
I'm just saying that this could draw some very, very bad attention to Marzio, and this could be very bad for him.
Tirtha's gonna walk up to Big Sal,
I have
put
no.
his hand on his shoulder, and be like, "We greatly appreciate what you have done, but we need to make this quiet for now. We don't need to go out fighting anybody, any crime right now.
Right now, you guys need to.
Train, be quiet, until we have more answers."
The one will clear his throat and he says, we will keep training, huh? But we need some kind of a symbol that you're ready to attack.
You'll know.
He nods.
I'll get a hold of you. I'll get a hold of you personally. I won't tell you how. I won't tell you how I will get a hold of you, but I will get a hold of you.
He nods. He says, I wait. Okay. So, at that point, Big Cell says, I'm sorry that I kept it a secret, and I'm sorry that it was hard to walk through here, but either way, he says, it's just what I thought best, so At least now you know.
It's appreciated that you filled us in on this.
You know,
I
it's
know that I'm a little
snotty.
whatever. You know me. It's my personality.
He nods.
I think we should return to the mansion to see if Alazio has gotten the message I sent him. I worry because of the last one I sent him.
Okay.
Terthel will agree. Let's get back.
Interesting. Interesting turn of events. So you guys pass back by Malik's body, twisting in the wind, some crows becking out his eyes, which, of course, you guys almost never saw because he had his hat down so far. Really, you guys realize that you'll never quite know what color they ever really were. There is a sign around him that says assassin. This is what happens to assassins in this town. You guys keep going on. You guys notice that the Solarius school, her name has been stricken from it. There are new people that are tapping new letters in stone.
What is it now saying?
E-L, and that's as far as they've gotten.
Alazios
Oh God.
stealing from his people to fund the school.
Actually, Kalima's gonna stop and she'll kind of look at the sign and tilt her head to the side a little bit, and she'll be like, "That was that Zaleria was your friend's name, right? And this was her school."
Indeed.
Does he have no respect for her?
Time will tell.
She's gonna frown and like she's thinking about something, but this is very unsettling to her.
You guys will notice that legionnaires, constables, and enforcers are out in full force, walking around everywhere. You guys will also start noticing that you guys have posters that are being placed up, saying that you're wanted, dead or alive.
What for?
For murder of enforcers, several charges of murder of officers of the law, enforcers directly threatening the governor. Let's see, what else? There is conspiracy is placed on it, and also sodomy.
Sodomy? Seems like
And sneak thievery.
seems like he's reaching. Let's get back to
I think Leon was the sodomist.
You guys go back to your home?
Yeah.
You guys go back to your home and you notice that there is lots of legionnaires, constables, and enforcers all standing around your home. Your home on the bright side is on lockdown. You see that they're trying to pry open the metal and they can't do it.
I want to go over by my door, by my side of the house. I
Okay.
motioned everybody to come in through my door.
Okay. Now, if that's not part of lockdown, that does change the way this whole thing goes. I assume that that was still part of lockdown.
Yeah, it still is.
Okay. So you go up to the door.
Yeah.
But it's got the big metal plate over it. Okay.
Oh, they locked it down like how we got stuck in that one warehouse.
That's
got-
our
yeah.
that one warehouse. That's our warehouse.
Right. Okay. I was confused there for a second.
Yeah, no, you guys had that lockdown kept for a reason, and it looks like the minute that the constables and the Legion showed up, it looks like Big Sal and all the girls just went, nope.
Not after last time.
No, fuck no. They're not dicking with that. They put your place on lockdown. They're like, they're not getting in here. So you guys try to sneak around the edge and go up to the door. I will need a sneak attempt out of all of you, please.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh, guys.
Turth's
Turth.
weakness.
Ega does too.
Oh shit.
A 14.
Got an 11.
I got a 5.
Oh
I guess I got a little bit better. I got a 12.
Egida did the best? Jesus, I have disadvantage because of my full plate.
I rolled a 2.
Just wow.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna take a smoke break. Think about how this is gonna roll. I mean, I know how this is gonna roll.
Oh god.
I love you guys, but sometimes I don't understand you. Your place is surrounded. It's in lockdown. It's surrounded by all of everything that's awful. We're gonna sneak around to the door. It's surrounded. I hope you sneak in well. Because there's like over 70 people here.
Kalima's gonna be like, you know, if you guys need a safe place to stay, I could offer my home.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I
No,
almost
you already did your
retroactively
roll,
want
Mindy.
to not sneak.
You what?
I almost retroactively want to not sneak because that's not exactly what Egida would do.
Oh, absolutely then. Still,
I would have
let's be
I would have
safe.
just approached them head on, not drawing my weapons, holding my hands up in the air, but approaching them.
That might end up being that might be interesting. We'll see.
Kalima's
Yeah.
just like, you know, let's not. Okay. Guess I should actually get the beer back.
All right, so you guys all go to sneak, and Egida walks right on up to one of the guys. Are you walking up to an enforcer, a constable, or a legionnaire?
Walking right up the center to whoever looks like they're in charge.
There is a gentleman with the sideways plume. It's a set of blades that go out of the side, and that you recognize that as a legionnaire in charge of some of the legion. He'll stop and he looks. Oh well, what do we have here?
I think it's safe to say that you know who I am. I mean, no trouble. I'm not here for a fight. I do wish to speak with Alazio, though.
He says, I'm pretty sure I can arrange that. However, you do realize that you'll be in the dungeon. But I'll give you my word as a soldier that I will strictly inform him that he needs to speak with you if you turn yourself in peacefully, Godslayer.
I will turn myself in, but I wish to speak with him here.
Slayers have your reputation for being dangerous. I personally would not advise it. I've given you my word, and that's unfortunately all I can do. I recognize somebody who believes in a foul god. However, Bahamut was the son of Silva and Lucentarius. And he wasn't a betrayer. Of that I will forgive your simple offense. and I respect you.
So, I'm gonna have it that Koima actually hung back and she was actually watching kind of everybody.
Everybody just walk in, you're like, no.
Yeah, no, she's just like, I don't know, guys. She's so uncomfortable, but she kind of will overhear, I guess, and she'll go over to Egida and the guy, and I can't remember what she was gonna say.
Oh my god.
All right, now
She just walked up and she's like, "Good talk."
No, okay, no, I got it. She'll walk up and she'll just be like, "We don't need any more bloodshed. All we want is a conversation. You all are already here. Alazio can come with so many more people if he needs to do that to feel safe, but a conversation is all that is being asked of."
And this does not need to be a dispute of gods. It is only a dispute between the Godslayers and Alazio.
make me a diplomacy check, Agatha.
Diplomacy is not in this system, Zach.
Persuasion.
It's not Pathfinder.
Look, you can't have me play something from the year 2000 to last year and not make mistakes like that. We've almost been playing.
You're frozen
Froze again. The modified 20.
You're unfrozen. Congratulations.
It would have been great if you froze like that.
That would have been great.
Okay. Yeah, I think we've been doing it a year. So, congratulations, guys. What did you get for your persuasion?
Modified 20.
He looks at you and he nods and he says, I can't control what your governor does, but the rest of your group,
We were just trying to come home.
Right.
We're not trying to cause problems. We just wanted to come home.
I
We've done
understand.
a lot of good for this city. A lot of good.
Where's one of your other
I understand you don't have much reason to take our word, but I will say that many of the crimes alleged against us are not true. Much is slander. Much of the aggression has been aimed at us, and our actions have only been in retaliation.
I don't even know what some of the words mean.
We've been to the Underdark and we found the bodies. We also know that you have 6 bodies in there. 7
Wait,
bodies in
are
there.
you talking about the people who attacked us?
We
They
woke
could-
up in the morning and one of our friends had been shot, unwarranted,
Look,
and we defended ourselves and our home.
I understand that you non-elves have your own way of ruling things.
Haley slowly pulls her hair back.
I understand that most of your kind have a different law system. We don't evade by that as long as you pay us tithing. We don't care.
Lucentarius himself has spoken to me.
He looks at you. I'm sure she has, young lady. Elf Haley.
How do you think I'm an elf?
There are many strange things I've seen in this world. I have a simple job to do. Bring me Tritholomew, and bring me Tritholomew, Omega, and Mickey O'Neill. You all turn
Turtle
yourself
walk
in.
up. Turtle walk up and just be like, I'm the only one here right now.
And if you want
So
anything
take
to
me.
do with
You'll turn yourself in if we can get Alazio here.
Yeah.
Here, right now.
You don't
I can
mind
get
doing
him here for us.
you what?
I said I can get him here for us.
Seriously
just-
doubt. Seriously doubt that. Are you willing to be bound?
No.
I'd rather not.
First, we'll stick his arms out. You gotta do what you gotta do. You get Alazio here.
He'll nod, and one of the guys will come up and look at your arms and go ahead and chain you. It's a beautiful elven chain in between a lot of runes on the handle, or on the cuffs. He says, I understand, but if I'm going to bring an official of your town here, where you all have a reputation for being able to kill governors, I would appreciate you being bound. All I can give you is my word, and I know you don't have to trust me. But if you want this to work this way, I will do things in my power. I will not be known as the Legionnaire that got a governor killed because I didn't at least find you.
He stays here until Lazio gets here. He's bound. He's not doing. I'll take my staff inside if you would like.
He looks over and he'll nod and they'll slowly take Tirth away. And he says, if the governor is harmed in any way, shape, or form, I don't care if the Godslayers did it or not. You slit his throat. He turns and he says, that's the price of you being unbound during this transaction.
If we are not responsible for any harm, and you kill any one of us, or even harm any one of us in any way, that is the epitome of injustice.
You keep your promise.
You dare stand by such a code?
You keep your promise, and I'll keep mine.
How can we keep a promise if somebody else hurts him? If you hurt him because somebody else hurts Alazio?
You wanted to speak to him here instead of in the safety of his own jail. That's on you.
Well, you won't let us see him. How else do you expect us to see him?
My patience
Whoa,
grows
whoa, whoa,
thin.
whoa, whoa, whoa! You said safety of his own jail.
Yes, if you wish to go to prison, if you,
Okay.
you go to the jails, then I will make sure that he comes and visits you. That is a place that I can guarantee his safety. That is a place where, and he looks at some of the enforcers, he says, that's a place where I can guarantee the commoners' safety as well. I want to do it that way. Master Egeda has a different view, and I do not blame him. Also a smart call. I don't know that you have hired someone else to kill Alazio, so yes, that is my price at speaking here. And a compromise must be met. I have given quite a bit.
I'm going to cast Zone of Truth over myself and the Legionnaire.
You go to cast a spell and most people will start pointing the weapons and he'll point his hand up. Continue.
I, nor any of my companions, to my knowledge, have any intention of causing any harm to the governor. To our knowledge, or at least to mine, we have not instructed anyone outside of us to cause harm to the governor. I would like a promise from you that you will not hold us responsible for the actions of parties other than ourselves, should something go awry.
You Justice
How big is the zone?
It's only between them.
Okay.
He nods to you and he says, although you might be able to deny the Zone of Truth, again, I believe your faith has offered you enough respect. He says, this can be achieved, but that is the last of my compromises.
Kalima's gonna take her shield and her mace and she'll offer it to him. And she'll go, I know you cannot trust any of us. I know there are a lot of lies that have been told. But I swear to Lucentarius and all the spirits on this earth that no harm will oh my god, why can't I speak?
No.
No harm will come to the governor from the Godslayers. And she'll offer her weapons.
He nods and someone walks up and grabs them.
Is everybody saying that Turth is like looking at Haley? Like,
He hasn't. I can't get into the building.
no, I'm just looking at. I'm not saying anything. Like, any that look like.
Bear in mind, Terry, that you are victim at this point of my dead to rights house rule. So if they slit your throat, you're dead, okay?
I know.
No amount of raging is going to save you. So you know. He nods and he says, okay. I will get him here.
I will lay my sword and shield on the ground, and I will sit down on the ground, crisscross applesauce right next to them, and close my eyes and silently pray.
And once this is done, you will turn yourself in.
If we are not able to convince the governor that we have not actually done wrong,
We haven't.
He nods. Of course, if the governor lifts this ban on you, then yes, I will not take you into custody. If he does not lift a ban, then I will take you into custody at your own free will. Or Bartholomew dies.
so it shall be.
I want to like kind of go off to a corner. I don't want to be necessarily near one of the stairs.
It's not really a corner, as you guys are surrounded. The house and you guys are now kind of surrounded, Amanda. I'm not buying there's a good hidey spot. You want to give me a different example, or maybe something else that might be more,
Okay. I'm just gonna pull out my copper wire.
pull your copper wire and hold it.
Yep.
Uh,
I'm gonna say a little message
Who are you sending a message to?
to Marzio.
Let me
So
check
far-
something real quick. You're gonna
It's-
use sending?
Yeah, sending. It's an infinite. There's no range. I can go between planes as long as I know the person.
Well, there's a 5% chance your message doesn't arrive if they're on a different plane.
So I'm gonna cast sending, speaking to my little copper tube or copper wire. I'm gonna say,
Okay.
Mars, Davenport needs you. There's something going on with Elazio. He's turned against us and he's burned Zolaria's body, and I fear we are in trouble. Please, no harm at this moment, but we need you.
Kalima is gonna go sit beside Agita.
But he should be able to respond to if he's on.
There is no response.
Does it feel like it got to where it was supposed to go?
Make me an Arcana check.
Nat 20.
It definitely doesn't feel like it feels like it was sent.
So 28 total.
To send a message, the individual does have to be alive in some way, shape, or form, and things like that. But you don't get a message back, so you can ascertain that he probably isn't receiving the message for one reason or he's choosing to not respond.
He can respond within his head.
I'm fully aware of what the spell does, Amanda.
Okay.
Telling you what is happening.
Okay.
So, he sends his runners. There will be a carriage rushed out. You guys will see that Elazio will step out wearing his usual garb. He walks up and takes the mask off. He looks a little more stressed, a little streak of silver in his hair. He speaks with the individual for a brief second, and then he smiles and nods. You guys see that Alexander is to the right of him, and Tor is to the left of him,
Oh,
as well
Tor.
as many, right? As well as many of the other individuals that seem to be part of his honor guard. He walks up, clears his throat. Lazio finally has the God Slayers. This is a truly auspicious day. You wish to
Yes,
speak with
you are
Lazio.
quite a grand and glorious governor who arrests people who have committed no crimes.
If Lazio's not mistaken, there have been murdered constables.
Not murder, it's self-defense.
They are the ones who attacked first.
He looks at you. So, murder
No,
is how you answer that?
no.
Did you not take a life? Did you
Have
have to
you?
take a life?
Have you?
He says, he turns and he looks and he says, are your men not capable of knocking a person out? Did you have to take the life? The individuals that were thrown into the lava, was that in self-defense? Could you have beaten them down and left them there? You gave us one that wasn't dead today.
Was throwing Zeleria's body into the lava really what was supposed to be done?
Yes,
Was that
She
her
was
wish or was that your wish?
it was mine. Her body was mine to mourn as I see fit. You denied me that, and anything that is my property, if no one can have it, or if I can't have it, no one will. Lazio does not abide by this.
I am sorry, sir, but that is not how bodies work. From my understanding, you were an ex. Not even an ex-husband, an ex-boyfriend. You have no say to her body.
Lazio will not allow you to judge our love or understand how I cared for her. I do not have to justify my actions. I have power for a reason. It was given to me so I can give this glorious town everything that you see. It is so much better. There's not dead bodies in the streets until you returned. Everything was doing fine until the Godslayers came back. I still had her love until you came back.
Okay, hold on. Out of character. I can't remember if Kalima asked or not, but has she been told about the whole thing with Julius Zaleria and Alazio?
Probably not. It's only been days.
Okay. So Kalima's gonna she'll very slowly just stand. She won't take a step or anything. She's just gonna stand and face Alazio.
When she stands, a little bit of blood trickles from Trithalniel's neck.
And she'll look at Alazio and she'll be like, I do not judge people's loves. My job is to take care of the dead. That's all I've ever done. I take care of the bodies, I take care of the spirits. You disrespected your love for her when you threw her into the lava.
Lazio will not dignify the response of a commoner to think of what he is and is not allowed or right and wrong to do. You wish to speak with Lazio. Lazio stands before you. You say that you've not murdered, but you have murdered. There are dead men because of you. You did not have to kill those people. You're far stronger than any of the people here as an individual. Yet you murdered them. Most of the constables look really upset right now. The enforcers,
Let me ask you one question. The second we stepped back into this, you started attacking us. We did nothing to you. In fact, we were almost destroyed on an astral plane on a mission that you very well thought that we should go on. almost didn't make it back. I died.
What the Godslayers have done for this world is
but-
crucial.
Why do you attack us? We've done nothing to you.
He says, there is a simple message that I received. We put you in power, we can take you out of it. Sent by Zalaria herself.
Yeah, and you've taken care of Zalaria, apparently.
I did not kill
But
Zalaria.
nothing but help this town.
He says, I will bring Zalaria's killer to a swift and long justice.
Well, we already took care of that for you. It was the dragon that you refused to send anybody to help take
And of
care of.
those who summoned it? Do you not care about who summoned it or why? You do not find them at fault, but the beast? Do you attack the gun or the man wielding it? Elazio is disappointed in your thoughts. I care no longer for them. You have murdered. You have harmed. You have brought injustice into a town that has been laid out perfectly, full of justice for you in your name. Yet you come in and shit all over it.
Tell me, Elazio, when Zalaria's body was taken during Kalima's ritual, how should we have acted? When your enforcers came into the church and held a gun to the priest's head, how should we have reacted? When you came into our home this morning with your men, not you, but your men, and shot Big Sally, unwarranted, how should we have reacted? Should we have just laid down and allowed you to do it? Or should we have protected what we hold dear, just as you have tried to? Do you seriously believe that you are so powerful that we are at your very whim? Do we not have free will ourselves? Do we not care about people the same way you care about Zalaria and the way you care about this city? Shall we forsake all we love for your self-righteous quest for totalitarianism?
Landon, that was very well said.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Easy.
Meanwhile, me and Terry are over here like, oh my god, don't do anything to Terry! He didn't do anything wrong!
Go ahead and make me a diplomacy check.
Ah.
You mean persuasion?
Persuasion check. Second time today. I'm gonna grab a beer and light a cigarette in my own house now.
It's a 21.
Nice. 21?
21?
What? What you gonna do?
He sits there and you see a little twinge in his eye. And he looks down for a brief second. And then he motions for an enforcer to come up. He steps aside. You see some whispering. You see another enforcer comes up. He tells the enforcer, he points in the air, and the enforcer like stops and turns. He grabs the other enforcer's gun, pop, and blows his head off. Elazio walks up, spits on him, walks up and says, Elazio did not know that people were murdered unjustly. You were supposed to be told to turn yourself in for your threat. I am sorry, and I have taken punishment to the man who sent the who gave the order. Elazio was sorry for that small transgression.
Kalima's eyes were like wide and
Well, why didn't you
Turth
say
is gonna
anything?
say something as he has a knife to his throat.
You can speak.
No, I'm just saying. You want to capture these people that summon this dragon. Correct.
Alazio will. Yes.
Let us help you.
I'm afraid, Godslayers, after the threat and after several things, I can no longer back you. You will be arrested after this conversation.
Where's Marzio?
Marzio is, and he looks up at the floating island above you guys that the elves are held in. Says he is above.
That doesn't tell me anything.
He is up there.
He has not been able to respond to me. Is he able to respond? Is he alive?
He is alive. Him and I spoke just this morning. However, many parts of the island are warded against magics. Especially the halls he walks among.
Does he know what's been going on down here?
Him and I have had discussions. And he knows that I am taking some extreme steps to make this place safe, yes.
And he's okay.
Now, is there anything else? Egida, make me a perception, or a perception check, or an insight check is what I prefer. But
Insight's better for me anyway, so.
Good.
Damn it! It's only a 7.
Okay. What do you wish to say to Alazio before you go to jail, Godslayers?
Do you really?
After learning how the events actually transpired, and punishing your men, you still think us guilty?
I understand that the ones that you have killed today, that you couldn't control that if they attacked your home. The other ones taking Zalaria's body, you did not have to murder. You are still guilty of that. And above all, the threat that was leveled to me. That is why you're going to jail. That is why you'll be locked in the dungeon and you will spend the rest of your life there, yes.
Who sodomized who?
Unfortunately, when you're such an icon, some charges that will be dropped.
Some charges that will be dropped should not be on that wanted poster, because they are not true.
I was trying to answer your question, but you interrupted me. You're legends around here. People love you, as I have loved you. I had to put some things that would turn the populace away from you to some degree, to weaken your hold on their hearts.
Do you really think you can find the people who summoned the dragon that killed Zaleria without their help? I've only ran with them for a couple of days, but they are brilliant beyond most measures. I understand you have power and you obviously have great strength behind you, but do you really think you can find her killer without their help?
Hey, knock it off. He says, hey, not while I'm streaming, buddy. Go play the toy. He says, there was a time before the Godslayers, and this town was rough, but there was another group known as Shot in the Dark. Alazio remembers them as well. There is a new... Hey! No. There is a new group that has come by and has been helping priest, a barbarian, and a wizard, I believe. Maybe they're next to pick it up, as they solved the crush problem that you all did not.
Crash problem? Okay, out of character. Crash problem? What is that?
Crush was
Krish was the first big bad of the campaign like 2 years ago.
Yeah, he was a terrible, awful, molesting bugbear.
Child molester.
Okay.
And he was killed, paraded around, and then his head was cut off, his body parts were separated, and it was nailed to all the entrances to the place, to Nethersport. No matter what, there will eventually be an adventuring party that will come take care of this problem than the way that you guys all have. It's the way of the world. That's why adventurers have names, I suppose, for their groups.
It, mm, Kalima will nod. And she'll, just say, I guess the best of luck to them then. A cult who can summon a dragon, powerful enough to do what it did to Zelyria, they're not going to be easy to take down.
Oh, I seriously doubt this new group could touch them, but I'm just saying that it will create a vacuum not having the Godslayers here. I'm so sorry. Lazio has loved the Godslayers, but you've turned bad. You've turned evil. And it's time to... Yeah,
You're
out of
fucking-
character. Like, that's in character, right?
No. Fuck you.
Kalima's gonna look a little...
He's saying that and shakes his head.
Kalima's gonna look a little confused. And she'll be like, I was there with the fight over Zelyria's body. They were not in the wrong. Self-defense is never in the wrong.
Self-defense, you say? Did you have to chase those people stealing the body?
Sure.
That's
Yes.
self-defense.
We just let somebody steal our friend that we're trying to put to rest?
No, it's not self-defense, though, is it?
It's self-defense after getting shot at.
If you're impeding the law, you will get shot at.
Stealing is technically impeding the law. They stole from a temple in the middle of a ritual. That may not be some law you have come up with, but that's a law that the gods have in place that the gods have in place. You broke a law against the gods. It's one of the most disrespectful things you could do.
I happen to know that when it comes to stealing that body, he says, I happen to know that she was fallen in with an ill-begotten god. The ritual I would have done would have saved her very soul.
The ritual I was doing just fine for her soul. And if you want to talk to her about it, I'll gladly do that for you.
He says, I do not defend what I did, because what I did, it was my property. Alazio took what was his. If you don't agree, I don't care.
And if Alazio had come and asked for it, you'd probably still have a body to bury. I am astounded that you are okay with her having gone into lava. You didn't even get to say your goodbyes to her, yet you claim to have loved her so well. I've seen a lot of people bury their loved ones. I've seen them burn their loved ones. I've never seen anyone okay with a ritual being interrupted and left incomplete, especially like this.
He seems to be developing a tear in his eye, and he says, I did not know what you would do with the body. I did not know what they were going to do, and he looks at the rest of the Godslayers.
We wanted to put her to rest.
She belonged with me.
She belonged with Jules. Face it. I tried to talk her out of it. I tried to. I was so furious with her for the longest time.
He shoots a look at the guy holding the knife on turf. He looks at you.
I mean no harm. I'm telling you, I was pissed at Zaleria for you. Because I consider you my friend.
Maybe you all shouldn't have threatened me to take me out of power after all I've done for this town.
Then why did I tell you I meant no harm to you? I mean no fight. We've done nothing wrong. We've done nothing but help you in your town.
Was I not threatened?
You were threatened
You
by
threatened
Zaleria.
That was completely separated from us at that very moment. We did not know that she sent you that message. We were not involved.
He says, well, given your propensity to overthrow governors, I don't believe you. This
You
conversation.
want to have cast truth on me?
You may
Oh,
arrest them,
Same
Legionnaire.
thing. Huh?
You may arrest them, Legionnaire. Goodbye, Godslayers. Enjoy the dungeons. And he'll look at the one holding Tirth and he'll do this. And then he'll walk off. The guy reaches real close to Tirth and whispers, "It's your lucky day. I'm his paid man." And he'll put the dagger all the way up. And then I'm going to end the game.
I hate you.
Yep.
So, I'm so pissed off right now.
Let's say goodbye to stream.
Bye, stream.
Come back next week. See if Tirth lives. Special shout out to I'm not gonna be able to say that correctly. King Suja, thank you so much for that follow.
Ooh.
We have 2 episodes that are supposed to go on YouTube. Hopefully I can get my brain to focus on more than one thing at a time and I'll actually be able to get those done. We'll see. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, join our Discord, all that other fun stuff, and we will see you all next week. Bye!
Jonathan had a